Are you ready to turn your 3D printing hobby into a money-making business? Welcome to the channel. If you haven't heard yet, my name is Sam. I run a 6-figure 3D printing business from underneath my garage. Today we're going to talk about 3 methods that I use to discover profitable 3D products that I can sell. Whether you're a seasoned maker or you're just getting started in 3D printing, we all could use more profitable products to sell. Stay with me and I will share a product I just discovered that anybody can print and sell for profit. The first method is to create products that fit a need in a market that you're passionate about. This method, however, is actually one I don't recommend. Unless you've done a ton of market research and you are confident that there is a market for whatever product it is you're coming up with, it can be risky to create products for a very specific niche that you are passionate about. As humans, we tend to think that we are the average person, and so that if we like something, the average person out there is going to like those same things, and it's just not the case. So much so that they actually gave it a name.
False consensus effect.
I did a little research. It was first identified and described by social psychologists Lee Ross and Greg Anderson in a research paper published in 1982. The paper is titled Shortcomings in the Attribution Process on the Origins and Maintenance of Erroneous Social Assessments. In short, not everyone likes the same weird stuff you like. Now, with all that being said, you can still get lucky with this approach, and it's actually my origin story. When I first started out selling 3D models, the first thing I created was a wall mount for my controller and headset. I've always been a big gamer, it's a big passion of my life, and I thought it'd be cool to have something I made to store my controller and headset when not in use. I then took that same product and I listed it on Etsy, and on day one, I got a sale, and that product actually grossed me over $15,000 in revenue in the first year alone. In full disclosure though, that story is like an exception to 3 or 4 different rules. First, I got lucky that the market I was passionate about was video games and that it was already like a $6 billion a year industry. I also got lucky that the Etsy algorithm blessed my very first listing and I got a sale within like 3 hours of posting it, and that same listing went on to get the Etsy bestseller tag, which I can speak from experience does not happen to every listing you post. Our second method for finding products that you can print and sell for profit is to just find products that are already 3D printed and that are already good sellers. Finding what these products are also not difficult. You can go to Etsy, you can go to Amazon, type in the search bar 3D printed, and they will spit out the best sellers of 3D printed items that's currently on their marketplace. What you're gonna find is articulated dragons and fidget toys. Those are by far the best sellers of 3D printed items on those marketplaces, and those creators oftentimes make it easy for you to sell it, as they have created a Patreon or a Things membership where you can pay them a monthly licensing fee to have access to their models, so you can then print and resell the model yourself. More than likely, that's what you're gonna wanna do. You're not gonna wanna reinvent the wheel here. A lot of these creators, all they do is create models for the sole purpose of selling the rights of those models to people like yourself or other 3D printer enthusiasts that like to focus on the model printing and selling, whereas they like to focus on the model design and selling the license of the model. Unless you have some hidden 3D modeling talent, you probably won't be able to compete with them on design, especially of these articulated, very detail-oriented models. You're much better off pay the $10 a month, get licensing to sell the model, and be on your way. If you go that route, just know you will be entering a higher competition pool. Some of these creators that model these dragons are licensing them out to 5, 10, even 20,000 people per month who are all trying to sell the same models. That being said, it's a large market. There's lots of ways that you can stand out as an individual seller, but just know that going into it, you're gonna have to kind of lean on other strengths that you can leverage to have yourself rise above the competition. The sub option within method 2 is to find creators like myself. I designed and created my entire catalog of products to be best sellers on Etsy, not to be best sellers in the licensing model game. I didn't even start licensing out my catalog until last year, which means I have over 3 years of Etsy sales history proving that my products are both best sellers and that there's demand for them. I like to think of myself as the Subway of 3D printing. Subway's whole goal is to make the most profitable sandwich they can sell. My whole goal with 3D printing is to create the most profitable products that I can sell. It's not hard to make a sandwich, anyone can do it. Yet Subway proved that their sandwich was a great seller and their business model was one that was to be replicated, so much so that they are the largest restaurant chain in the world. I like to think 3D Design Bros is similar. I don't overcomplicate any of my models if they don't need to be. What you get from creators like myself is a catalog of models that are proven sellers that can act as a foundation for your store that you can build onto. If any of that resonates with you, you can see all of our models in our catalog at our things profile. For $10 a month, you get access to all of our models with a license to sell all of them. Our third method is one that I'm very excited about. I started doing it about a year ago, and I think for the most part, people aren't doing it yet, and they really should be. It's pretty simple. All I do is I go on Etsy and I search for best-selling products that are made out of a material that isn't a 3D printed material. Two areas where I have found a lot of products that could be 3D printed is wood and concrete. I'm most excited about concrete though, and it's because like 3D printing, concrete also has a size limitation. 3D printing is limited on the size of products we can create because of the limitation of the 3D printers themselves. Concrete is also limited on the size of their products because of the weight of concrete, and if it gets too big, it's too costly to ship. Because of this, the products created in the two materials tend to be similar sizes. You can now make a version of the concrete product in a 3D printed product and lean on all the advantages of 3D printing. Fast turnaround, lightweight, recycled material, everything that makes 3D printing great. For those of you still hanging with me, I promised you at the beginning of this video a new product I found that is so simple to print, anybody with any printer can print it, and it's profitable. That item? A candlestick holder. I was doing method 3 and looking at products made from concrete and came across these candlestick holders. These designs are not complicated, and there's multiple shops selling multiple listings, all doing thousands or more a month from these simple designs. So if your shop is feeling a little light for the holiday season, maybe look at candlestick holders. Hopefully you can use these methods to generate your own best-selling listings. Finding the products is just the first step in running a 3D printing business though. Check out our video, 5 facts about 3D printing for profit, beginners must know, and learn about the 5 things I wish I had known when I started my 3D printing journey 3 years ago so you can get a jump start on your business. I'll see you over there.